segment, episode number 13 of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation. Jeff Gersh over here, Mark Jackson, Broncos icon. I am Danny Williams. Thanks for being with us. 2 great segments in the books. A rehearsed third segment that's so big, we're going to do it twice. We're going to just...
Yeah, let's do that.
So nice, we had to do it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, Big 12 Media Day. Coach Prime, no one had seen him for a couple of months. Coach Prime's doing his own show. He's got all a little... he's doing a million interviews. He's got brand endorsements. Yet no one had really seen or heard from Coach Prime in a couple months. He's been in his Texas residence. And people are wondering...
the Bunny Ranch?
The Prime, the Prime Estates.
It's not the Bunny Ranch. It's Prime Estates. Yes, that's right. People are wondering, is Coach Prime, how was his health? Okay, we know he's had some health issues, some pretty serious health issues over the last few years of his life. He's lost a couple toes. He has compartment syndrome, does a lot of different things potentially to your body.
Yeah.
He was at Media Day and said he's looking good, he's feeling good, and he said, do you believe? And he said, I've never felt better. I got everything. And man, he puts it in perspective. He said, I got all everything in the world to be happy about. I got no worries. I got no needs in my life. And he said, I no longer have to coach my son. And even in a son and a half.
Right.
In Travis Shedeur. He could just
Don't forget Shiloh.
Just be a coach. So let me ask you this, Mark. Coaching your son, who you're trying to create into an NFL player, who you're trying to have success with, not at the expense of the team as a whole. How do you think is there a pressure, a weight lifted off of Coach Prime's shoulders, and he's just a regular coach now? Tell me your thoughts on kind of the new look Buffs.
I don't think Coach Prime will ever be a regular coach.
Yeah.
Right.
But the fact that Shiloh and Shedeur are playing, you're always going to have to worry about the scrutiny from Jackson State to Colorado. You're under a microscope. So the time off that he had away from the media in seclusion, I think is well-deserved.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's well-needed, I'm sure.
For sure.
Just to restore and replenish yourself. But, yeah, I think a weight it has to be off of his shoulders of having the scrutiny of, is my son. I mean, there's the big controversy of whether you retire Shedeur Sanders' jersey or not. Was he worthy? And there's all this kickback. All that's behind now.
Yeah.
He's been able to establish something.
It's about the 2025 Buffs now, right? Jeff, is that right?
Well, I think one of the things that Coach Prime wanted to do and has done is take a non-brand that was once a brand and bring it back to being a badass brand.
Yeah.
And he did that. And he did that in droves. I mean, the Fox Noon kickoff is there. The morning game day's putting the headgear on.
Yeah.
I mean, Boulder, Colorado, a couple years ago when I was there, guys, it was homecoming. It was Halloween. It's supposed to be hotties everywhere. Boulder, Colorado, there was nobody. I got them season tickets. You look up behind us, nobody.
Crickets,
60
bro.
rows.
Got them good seats.
Dude, I had to pay my friends to come to games with me.
Wow.
I say, I'll get you a parking ticket. I know Nate Lundy. I can get in there. No, but my point is, dude, it's gone from that travesty
2 years
to
Okay.
the dynasty it is. And I tell you, those of us that used to walk through those
C-word.
Those of us that used to walk through the security lines back in the day when no one even checked and you could just wave at them.
Oh.
Just go
And
in.
now you get in a security line and that thing is nuts to butts and you're just like, you just look up and thank God for it, man. It's incredible.
Mark,
He's happy. Look happy.
Respond to this a little bit. There's a few ways, and I'm going to take everything that the three of us said and say, well, over the 2 months he's kind of hasn't been around Coach Prime. Now, like we said, already in 2 years has now built the foundation of a brand that was a one-win team and now has a reputation for having some depth and some skill. They had a bunch of really good guys. They're not top heavy anymore. Coach Prime says they're a better team now than they were last year with Trav and with Shedeur. For one, when you hear it, you're like, how is that possible? Yet, that was a two-man show. They got to bail you out. They got to go up and down the floor. They are superstars, so you got to superstar a little bit.
Yeah.
But now, defense as a whole, he said the defense is better. Offense as a whole, they got a bunch of receivers. He says they're going to dedicate themselves to the run game. They have 2 quarterbacks they brought to Media Day, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But, Mark, talk about it a little bit.
Well, when you look at CU, they have been able to, in a very short period of time, transformed that program.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So kudos to Coach Prime and everything that they've done there. And now it's more of a balanced team. I mean, it's kind of tough when you're building and you go a one-win team to the next year. They come out of the blocks and then tank at the end. You know, they lose 8 straight. You're a season ticket
The
holder.
first year, they had a rough ending. Last year, they finished a little better. Couldn't do as well with those Kansas teams. Damn you, Kansas.
Yeah, but he's built the brand now that's
They're both good, those Kansas
that's
teams.
one of the top 5 in the nation. And
Yeah.
even if they're not a top 5 program, it's because it carries the Coach Prime moniker, and people are raising their expectation level.
Hey,
That's
I
what
think-
you want.
Well, there's a weight, I think, lifted off his shoulders, too, that you brought up, Danny, but I don't think we touched on it, and that's coaching your son.
Yeah,
Danny's done it.
you've experienced that.
I did it today. I took my son off the mound today in the middle of a we're in the 11U state tourney.
George.
And I just said, George, I love you.
Not happening.
This ain't it, and we're trying to win. Do you want to play second base or sit on the bench? And I try my best to do all those things right. I can imagine there's going to come a day where maybe I just coach kids that aren't mine anymore. That's how I started in high school level,
Yeah,
and that's where Coach Prime is at now. He's coaching kids that aren't his. He'll tell you 3 or 4 of them are his, and he's right about that, but I just think where he's at, it's actually a weight lifted off his shoulder where he can become that CEO that you always talk about.
He said I can focus on just the ball as a hand. I don't got to be focused on my kids and trying to draft, prepare them, and have propel them and give them a little bit too much or a little not enough. That means something. That's kind of unique and that's kind of special. The experience to be able to coach your kids at that level. But now Coach Prime, you know what? Coach Prime has to coach and be a coach like every other Power 5 coach in the country. He's gonna have to do it like everybody else does it, and he's gonna have to do it with one of 2 quarterbacks who he brought to Media Day, and Caden Salter, the graduate player from Liberty who's got some skills, he's got some size, dual threat, and Juju Lewis, who's 17 years old, the next big thing, a premier prospect they pulled away from SC and a bunch of other schools that had wanted his services. So Coach Prime brings both of those guys to Media Day in the sense of, hey, well, both guys might have to play, both guys might contribute, well, one guy might lose his grip, and then we hand it off. Salter starts the season, kind of like you got Joe Flacco starting the season.
Awesome.
How far does Joe Flacco take you till you have to go to Anthony Richardson or Drew Lock or one of these young guys?
Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland.
It's a good problem to have, and Coach Prime didn't have to bring Caden Salter in. He could have just had Juju Lewis said, we're just going to go through the growing pains of the young guys.
I love it. I love what
You
they're
got 2
doing.
quarterbacks who could play, and if Salter is the truth, they have a chance in their schedule to go 4-0. If they're 4-0 with Caden Salter, we're talking Heisman, and we're talking some crazy stuff, Mark.
I mean, a guy that can come from Liberty, and we talk about the portal a lot and how that's affecting college football, the situation. I mean, we're seeing it in effect right now. You have 2 quarterbacks. The ability to first of all, pluck one of the prime quarterbacks in the nation and get him to switch from one university to come to see you.
Right.
And then say, you know something, let's do like Patrick Mahomes. Let's do like Drew Bledsoe to Tom Brady.
Alex Smith to Mahomes.
Alex Smith to
Bobby
Mahomes.
Brister.
Bledsoe to Brady.
Let's give this kid a little chance to follow behind someone and learn the ropes.
Let's let Salter take them as far as he can until it's the Juju Lewis experience or so.
Absolutely.
And that's a great problem to have, and that's a good
From everything I heard, this Juju Lewis is the truth.
Well, and think about this. I mean, last year we'd be going to games, and Shedeur would get hurt. He'd roll an ankle. He'd come out, and you go,
Oh, you're like,
who the is that?
non-Jokic minutes.
Yeah, not him, please. Shedeur, undo your hurt ankle and get your ass back out there. Now, let's say Caden Salter, gets a huge first down, gets the gain with his feet, gets spell rung a little bit, but he's fine. Comes off for 2 plays, and we're like, ooh, it's Juju time.
Or Jeff,
they get excited.
he would say that.
You're a Juju time.
or they coexist. Maybe Salter's the guy. He's established. You see a premium athlete, a guy you want to find a way to integrate in Juju Lewis. You build some packages for him a little bit to do some stuff. And again, that's a good problem to have, not a bad problem to have. If it's a bad problem to have and Salter's not hitting, then you start the 18-year-old Juju Lewis experience, and you build him for the following season to where he is then a Heisman candidate. You are competing for a Big 12 championship, and the rest is history.
Yeah, didn't Alabama have that same situation with Tua and a guy named Jalen?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hurts, man. I mean,
whenever you have
So good.
quality quarterbacks, when you have options, you have a chance to win it.
yeah. And you have the coaching to go along with it, the mentality of Salter to say, yeah, I know you got this guy in Juju, but I'm badass too. And I could also coexist with him and won't be a hater on him. I'm going to help him too. You have to have, it's the right mentality. It's, it's a leadership thing. It's
That's culture.
It's a character thing. And that's now what they said. I got to say this real quick. The Buffs 2 years ago, like we said, I love the analogy. When you take over a one-win team, it's like you go to a old restaurant that used to be like a KFC or an old Taco Bell that's now like a dollar scoop Chinese place.
Yeah.
And you just got to run business until you can have a chance for something bigger. But now the Buffs 2 years later, they tore it down to the dirt. And they built up, like we say, I've seen like these brand new Starbucks. It's just like, damn, that brand new Starbucks. They built that in a month, and it looks like it's from the future. So the Buffs are operating like a team in the future. You use a little bit of NIL, use a little bit of some dogs from Liberty who you might have to pay a few bucks to come, but they're not Alabama 5-stars, and you do 20% high school guys. 40, 40, 40, Coach Prime said. That's his recipe. And I love
That's not 100.
I'm sorry. 40, 40, 20, 20% high school guys.
There you go.
And if you need help, let me know. I might not be with that. I do think one of the bummers, though, with that, and you're right, but did you see how 20% was high school guys?
Yeah.
So it seems like to me, I'm a little sad that some of these high school seniors aren't putting the hat on of the Georgia Bulldogs, or they're not putting the hat on of Clemson Tigers. But you know who is winning out of this deal?
What?
Liberty.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Liberty.
Carolinas.
Yeah.
UCF.
Yeah. Colorado School of Mines is winning because seniors aren't getting and necessarily plucked because they're going to take an NIL transfer that's a sophomore who's already gone through his 19th year of being a
I look at that as a good thing, and you look at it as something that's
it makes me a little sad. It's an unintended consequence.
Don't live in the past.
No, it's just more so. I want seniors,
The future.
but I want seniors in 2026 to put a hat on. But I think less of them are getting to put the hat on because more are transferring. Staff.
That's just the
but it's
age we
helping.
live in.
Dude,
That's
it's helping Miami,
It's
Ohio.
the evolution of the game, college game of football.
That's just life. That's life. That's what all the people say. Okay, that's been episode 13 of the Elevation on Fan Day Nation. It's happened quick. Real quick, Mark, before we get out of here, talk about your brand here.
Flooded garage for flooded office.
Hate it.
How about your home?
Yeah.
Are you having some stress at home because you're just a hoarder? Maybe you just aren't that organized. We have a solution. It's called intentionalspacesdenver.com. Call Ramona. Take care of you, give you a free quote. Keep the peace in your household, right? Keep the peace in your mind.
It's working.
Yeah.
Already, Mark. I can feel it working.
Things to, again, those guys are great.
Denver.
Do you know, Mark, real quick, one more thing.
Yeah.
Intentional spaces. Some people like the clutter and the messes. It's like it's making me haunt.
Yeah.
I am uncomfortable with this. I better organize this. That's what that's for. The people. Real quick, one thing to look forward to, and maybe to keep your eye on, is if the Nuggets have one more roster spot. I really love the idea of trying to add Chris Paul to come in here. Desire, hunger, second unit banger, can play some moments in fourth quarters for
Where'd
you.
that come from?
Yeah, man, I think he's right there. He's for the taking. Legacy on the line. He was still like 9 and 8 last year. He's not scoring the ball, can't really shoot it, but he's a distributor. He's going to get playmakers involved. He's going to help you in so many ways. Just my thought real quick, tiny little quick thought on Chris Paul before we get out of here.
I think you're on to something. I also think you're on something. I'll check that later.
Yeah.
If you could pee in a cup back there for me. Point guard. Yes, point guard.
But
Real point guard. I don't think Bruce Brown's a point guard either. I think he's
I don't know if Bruce
shooting
Brown's
guard.
going to make the team, bro.
Yeah, well, I just don't think he's a point guard. Jalen Pickett, all right, but he's like Terry Porter, backs you down with his booty. You're on to something, point guard. Add a point guard and then dunk all over the Oklahoma City.
Mark, talk about a veteran guy like that for the room, for the team, for desire and hunger, a guy who wants it bad. Does he have anything left? Or is he wild?
I think it might be at the end.
Really?
We don't want to be. I don't think you want to be that team that's like grabbing guys. I mean, the Russell Westbrook experience.
Oh, go on
Or
that.
experiment.
Oh.
I think that might have
Cook that up, chef.
that might have been a C plus, maybe B. It depends on how you grade it and how much.
Some people would say
I mean,
a D, bro.
Yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
people would say there was a D.
And I'm being very, very. I'm being nice because I mean there's a lot of Russell Westbrook fans. He is a Hall of Famer, first ballot.
So Chris Paul, keep going.
Yeah, but it's I mean
You
that's
just keep
the end of his
listing all
career.
the reasons why you love him, and I can tell you Chris Paul's that.
Yeah,
And then do the
all the reasons why
we are frustrated with him. And I think
would
Chris Paul
benefit,
is also
would
that.
benefit the Nuggets.
That's why you get like a young Drew Holiday, whoever that is. I don't know who that is,
Yeah,
but if you know who it is, and you're nervous,
Oh, yeah.
you got to figure it out.
I
M's
Drew Holiday. Come on, you guys are acting like the superstars are falling off of trees. You kind of
Right.
get
Yeah,
I just a
take
young,
advantage of what's
gritty
out there.
point guard that
that's I mean if you had a wish list, that's what you want. I mean, let's go for what we want as opposed to settling for something that and may or may not.
I don't want a poor man's. I'd rather have a poor man's Drew Holiday than a guy trying to be rich. Chris Paul, make some more money.
Well, he's a rich.
I'm trying to find a good way to say
Gone
it.
too far. Yeah, it don't matter anyway.
No, don't.
He can rely with
No.
your will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, listen, real quick. Before we get out of here, what?
Where do you like sleeping?
Where do I like sleeping?
Yeah, if you're not at home.
Well, again, if I'm out and about, I want a little romance, a little staycation. Say we're going to Fiddler's Green.
Whoa.
Concert. It's the concert
Dave
season.
Matthews in town?
Wingate by Wyndham DTC, Greenwood Village. It's walking distance right across the street from Fiddler's. It's the closest hotel to Fiddler's. I'm saying, like, the experience there. I have 4 kids. I have a chance to just get away, whether you're with your wife or, like, with the kids. The kids just like to go to the hotel for the night. It feels like you're out of town. It feels like the vibe, the experience. But,
Vacation.
yeah, Wingate by Wyndham. We got a relationship with those guys. We appreciate them big time, and go check them out if you need a stay for whatever you might need. So, Jeff,
Tell me when to meet you at the pool, man. I'll bring my kids.
let's do it. Jeff, really good job today.
Thank you.
Mark, you're always really good. Legend might be strong, more like a folk hero. I am Danny Williams. That was episode number 13
Yeah, it was.
of The Elevation on Fan Day Nation.